Hello everyone, welcome back into our YouTube channel. I have been with Anna in Sweden, in Stockholm, few weeks ago, and of course I had uploaded some videos from this place, from Stockholm. We had opportunity to sightseeing this beautiful city, and I want to say that Sweden is also in my heart. This country is important to me. I have many memories related with Sweden because I was there in 2004. I could tell a long story what I was doing there, but this video is not about this. And before we went to Sweden, I wanted to do some research, what to visit there, what is good to know about Sweden, because I don't remember so well this country. I was there in 2004, as I mentioned, and I started to search some videos in YouTube, and I found the channel of Jane. And in this video I want to do interview with her, for the distance of course, because we couldn't meet in Stockholm. She lives there, but when we were in Stockholm she had gone to Barcelona in this weekend, so yes, that's the life. We couldn't meet in this weekend, but we will go to Sweden again for sure, so probably it will be possible to meet someday, or maybe Jane will come to Romania to visit, because she told me that she wants to visit Transylvania, and she have seen some videos from this part of Romania, so maybe you will come here to Transylvania, we will see. So if you are interested in, I'm inviting you to stay with us and watch this interview, what I want to do with Jane.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. Yeah, it was actually sad that we couldn't meet, and it could have been a really nice experience. I could have shown you so much in Stockholm around, and yeah, but that time I was in Barcelona, and yeah, for sure I will definitely want to visit Romania, and especially north of Romania, Transylvania I want, and this city Cluj-Napoca or something, and also Sighisoara, and yeah, basically the region of Transylvania, and yeah, I think it's really interesting to me, well, because I really related to Vlad Tepes, this Dracula, you know. I really like the history of Romania as well. I read a lot, and this is one of the reasons I would want to actually visit. So yeah.
I have seen many of your videos, Jane, and I know that it was very tough to you accommodate in Sweden, means especially find a job, because you were struggling with this a lot. And what is your tips or advice for the people who want to move to Sweden?
Well, my advice to people who want to move to Sweden is actually do research before you move, because in my case I moved because of my partner. I didn't move to Sweden because of a job. I must say that I would never have moved to Sweden if it wouldn't have been for my boyfriend, my fiancé. But I think people must do research, especially people should be really careful, because every single professional is really different. It works in a really different way in Sweden. If you are for example, a web developer, or like you are into programming, it probably will be easier to apply through LinkedIn, for example. But if you are into languages, like I was translator in Barcelona, it was really difficult for me to find the same job as I had in Barcelona, so I had to change my career. So my tips would be do research in your field, in your profession, Also, LinkedIn platform is a must-have. 95%, 99% of people have it. It's actually where you build your networking, when you get to know people and build a chain, and actually can really easily find a job. But do research, update your LinkedIn account or create one, and your CV shouldn't be longer than 2 pages as well, because people will actually not read it. The shorter and clearer it is, the better. So yes, my advice is to do research before you do anything, because it's not as easy as maybe it seems like. So yeah.
I'm living in Romania more than 3 years. I have moved from Krakow, from Poland to Bucharest, and since this time when I'm here, I discovered many pros and some cons of living in Romania. But what about Sweden? What can you say? What are the advantages and disadvantages of living in this country?
Okay, advantages and disadvantages of living in Sweden. Well, I guess people know or might know that Sweden is a cold country. Scandinavian capital is Stockholm, and of course Scandinavia is basically associated to cold, right? That's how it is. Actually, the biggest disadvantage is the weather, the cold, dark winter that starts November or even like late October and ends like in March. And yeah, the weather is absolutely awful, can be really awful, really dark. And if you never experienced this before, it can feel really depressing and really tough, because winter in Sweden is really dark. The sun goes down at 2 p.m. and then you have this feeling that, well, what do I do now? It's like, it's already dark. Should I don't know, have a dinner? Or, the feeling is really weird. And I think this would be the main disadvantage: the weather. Also, maybe the language, Swedish language, for example. Even Swedes speak English really well. Swedish language is really necessary. And of course, if you are not so good at languages, if you struggle, it will be tough for you. And what else as a disadvantage? Maybe to find a job is really because this is a really competitive country, especially here in Stockholm, in the big cities like Stockholm, Gothenburg. So it can be really tough to find a job. So yeah, the weather, the language, and finding the job, of course. And another thing that is really, really big disadvantage is how difficult it is to find an apartment to live in. It's absolutely difficult, and also expensive, especially in the big cities. So yeah, and when it comes to advantages, I guess I must say it's a really balanced country. It's a country that fights for equality, and I guess many know that Sweden is a country of equality, 50-50. And a parental leave, for example, when you have kids, you have like up to 1 year, I think, of paternal leave. I'm not sure about it. I don't have kids yet, so I'm not really informed. But paternal leave is really really good. And yeah, life balance in Sweden is amazing. People really respect well, your work, your job when you work, but also your lifestyle, your time outside. It must be healthy, and people really respect it. And yeah, I think Sweden is really known for a life balance, and also work conditions. To work here in Sweden is also amazing once you get that job. Life becomes easier. And yeah, and also I must say, for me personally, as the advantage of living in Sweden, the tap water, drink tap water. I mean, you don't buy water at the groceries or something, you just drink water from the tap, which is absolutely amazing. I said it so many times on my videos as well on my channel. I think people are already sick and tired of me of saying that, but that is true. It's amazing. So yeah.
On the beginning of this video I told I have been with Anna in Stockholm, but my previous journey to Sweden was to other two cities in this country. That was Uppsala and Sala, and most of my time I spent in some little village, what was the name Neckenbeck. But my question is to you, what places can you recommend to visit in this beautiful country in Sweden? We hadn't so many opportunity to travel, we just saw the Stockholm, and for sure in the future we want to visit Sweden again, but tell for our audience, Jane, what places are the best to visit in Sweden?
Okay, so places to visit in Sweden that I recommend. Oh my god, I extremely highly recommend you guys to visit Kiruna, the north of Sweden. A place called Abisko is really far north. Another town is called Jokkmokk. If you have heard of Sami culture, there is Sami museum, and it's a really it's a town that is really related to Sami culture, which is amazing. Sverige Park, National Park, is absolutely breathtaking, and if you go in during summer you will experience this midnight sun, the sun that never settles, so it's light, it's this midnight sun. When it's like 11 p.m. 12, it's sunny actually, and it's really extremely amazing and breathtaking experience. So yeah, north of Sweden, as I said, and then south, because Sweden is really diverse. There is north, there is Stockholm, and there is south. It's absolutely different and has nothing to do one thing with another. So Gothenburg is the second biggest city of Sweden. I highly recommend you guys to go and visit Gothenburg, or in Swedish Göteborg, and also Malmö and Lund. Lund is a really cute, beautiful town. That it's university city. It's just amazing and really cozy. So yeah, actually north and south you must do. I also must say that if you want to visit north, go during summertime. I remember I went in August, I think. So I advise you to go during summertime.
Every country has many traditions and everywhere people are different. My next question is, what shocked you, or maybe what surprised you the most in Sweden?
Okay, so what surprises me the most of Sweden? Okay, that is a cashless country more and more, which means that it's not common to see people using cash. Absolutely, it's almost impossible to pay with cash here in Sweden, which is absolutely amazing. And once you live here in Sweden for some time without using cash, when you travel outside, it becomes really weird to use cash, like, you know, because other countries do use, but Sweden is like, you know, doesn't use so much anymore, which is amazing. And what else? I guess the weather surprises me a lot because here in winter, as I said before, it gets really dark, which is insane to me. I remember my first time experiencing the Swedish winter and this sunset at 2 p.m. It was absolutely insane. I was like, is this so impressive? And the midnight sun during summer, and yeah, I think this is like the most specific and yeah, most unique thing that really surprised me about living in Sweden. But I'm sure I'm forgetting something right now because there are many things that still surprise me, and I have been living here in Sweden for 2 years and 4 months, I think, already, and I still experience new stuff and new things all the time, so yeah.
The last question, what I would like to ask you, Jane, is: do you plan to stay in Sweden forever? What is your plan for the future?
Okay, so if I plan to stay in Sweden forever, that's a tricky question you are asking me. Well, to be honest, I think if I make it in Sweden, if I make my life stable here, if I get that job that I really want and feel stable and have my, my really financial stability, then I would want Sweden to be my base country where I always would be back, where I would have my apartment or my house with my boyfriend, and where I could build my family. So yeah, I would definitely see myself living forever here in Sweden, because it's a really good country to have kids, to build your family, as I said before, life balance between work and your life. I think it's amazing country. It's really lagom, as Swedes say, not too little, not too much, just enough, this expression. So yeah, if I feel stable, I would definitely see myself. But it has been 2 years and 4 months, and I think it's a bit too early to say so. I'm still progressing, living, still learning the language, still struggling with finding that job. So yeah, it's being a bit tricky, but I like Sweden, I love Sweden, I like Swedes, I like the culture, I love it here. So I will make it all as much as I can to make it here in Sweden. But of course, it's not like, you can invest all your life in a country that actually doesn't work for you so much. So yeah, we will see. But for now, I do see myself. But as long as I fix it and make it nice for myself and feel happy and fulfilled in all ways. So yeah.
That was all the questions what I wanted to ask you, Jane. I'm very happy and grateful because you were agreed to do this interview, even for the distance, but for sure it was really great experience to me. I hope also to you. Please guys, write some comments. What do you think about this, what Jane told in this video? Maybe you have any questions about Sweden, or you want to ask something about Romania, so please write the comments. I encourage everyone to subscribe the channel of Jane. If you have the pleasure, you can also subscribe our channel Live in Romania. Please guys, give us thumbs up and see you in the next videos. Hejdo!
But thank you so much for having me. It has been an amazing interview, and I'm really happy that I could contribute with my tips about Sweden. And yeah, thank you guys for watching this interview, our interview, live in Romania, and Jane from Sweden, but actually I moved from Barcelona to Sweden. And yeah, feel free to also check out my channel if you want, and if you are interested in you know, cultural differences between different countries, and some tips about Sweden. And so yeah, thank you so much again for having me, and yeah, see you next time.